Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Monday morning review of the Awe of God. We are on chapter 24 this week. Last week, we talked about the importance of obeying God immediately, not delaying doing it right away, because delay shows a lack of faith and trust. This week, it's obeying God even when it doesn't make sense, which I think is harder. It's easier just to delay something, but it's harder to obey even when it doesn't make sense. Scripture is filled with examples. Jesus did things that didn't make sense, spitting in the dirt to make mud to put on somebody's eyes. Obviously, he healed people without mud, without spit and mud. But in this one instant, he did something that makes no sense. In fact, he's got a long list right here, the next page, of things that people were asked to do in Scripture that made no sense. One example: did it make any sense to walk around the walls of Jericho for 6 days, and on the seventh day they did it 7 times? Again, it made no sense for them to do that. But God sometimes will ask us to do things that don't make sense. There's a very well-known verse that applies. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you the path to take. That key phrase, do not depend on your own understanding. God may ask us to do things that just don't make sense. Now, he talks about a story about a multi-billionaire who started doing things, being led by the Holy Spirit in his business, even if it didn't make sense. And then he tells a little bit more of a practical scenario. When one of my sons was in his late teenage years, I asked him to do something that didn't make sense to him. He stood toe to toe with me, protesting that my instructions didn't add up, but I stood firm. In exasperation, he finally said, "Dad, I'm a millennial, and we need to understand the why before we do something." I said to him, "Okay, I'll make you a deal. Let me set you up by telling you a true story. God told a young prophet in Judah to travel to Bethel, prophesy to the king of Israel, and return to Judah by the same route he came. And furthermore, to not take anything on the entire trip. The young prophet did not obey the instructions of the Holy Spirit and suffered the consequences. He was killed by a lion before the trip was over." This is in 1 Kings 13. "Son, here's my deal with you. The day you can give me the why behind those specific instructions to the young prophet is the day I will tell you the why behind my instructions. To this day, he has not been able to tell me the why. In fact, that one also puzzles me. There are times God will tell us to do something that just doesn't make sense in our minds, but His wisdom is always confirmed by the results. This is why Jesus states, wisdom is shown to be right by its results." All right? Not the action itself, but the results. "May we also be like Peter, who after fishing all night and had nothing to show for it, heeded Jesus' voice to launch back into the water and cast his nets once again. That command would take a lot of extra work when they were already exhausted." Don't you love Peter's response? "We worked hard all last night and didn't catch a thing. But if you say so, we'll let out the nets again." The result was 2 boatloads of fish. So, again, I recognize how hard this might be. Last week, like I said, it's easier to delay obedience. It's harder to do things that may seem counterintuitive to us. I guess I'll throw this in my own 2 cents. Look at the mess that the world is in. Look where so-called worldly wisdom gets us. Maybe there's something to be said for living counterintuitively. Counterintuitive living also just shows that we're depending on God and the Holy Spirit in ways that the world just doesn't. A passage, "Those who trust in their own insight are foolish, but anyone who walks in wisdom is safe." The final point, "The Lord's wisdom far exceeds ours. Therefore, we shouldn't depend on our own understanding. It can easily sway us from the benefits of obedience. The person who fears God obeys, even when it doesn't make sense." So don't let others, others might see what you're doing, the observation of others. Don't let that stop you from doing whatever God has asked you to do. All right. Take care. God bless.